Do you like steak? Well, I do. Sometimes it's hard to calculate the time needed to cook a perfect steak, especially if it's a thick cut. So this video, I'm trying to demonstrate how do I make a perfect steak in a low oven instead of doing sous vide. And if you think you've seen this video before, don't worry, it's my English version. The thickness of the steak is about 2.5 inch, and this method will apply to any thick cut of steak, such as sirloin and ribeye, they all do the same. To start off, we have to defrost the meat first, and then let it sit in the room temperature for at least 2 hours to have it relaxed. Remember, you want to rest the meat before you cook it. That's the general rule of cooking meat. Season the meat with salt and pepper generously, and then have your temperature probe ready. This is how we get the temperature accurately inside the meat. The steak itself is expensive, you don't want to ruin it, do you? Set the target temperature according to your preference. Say if you want medium rare, then 53 centigrade is good for you. I always prefer to insert the probe at the side of the meat all the way to the core, say the meat center. Medium rare should be at the center. That sounds right here? And then have your oven ready. As I said low oven earlier on, the temperature of the oven is being set at 130 degrees centigrade, which is low, but good enough to build up heat inside the meat gradually until medium rare. I used to be an engineering student in my university. As an Asian geek, I love to calculate the time needed for the entire process. Have you heard of Newton's law of cooling? If you do, it's just the other way around. I've done it a lot of times, but you don't really need it. It's useless. It's pretty accurate, isn't it? As soon as your target temperature is reached, take it out. Take the steak out. Wrap it with tin foil. Let it rest for 15 minutes. Now the core temperature will continue to rise for at least 3 to 5 degrees. So don't worry, it will be medium rare. Have your skillet or cast iron pan piping hot, like it's smoking. Now drop the fat side in. At this stage, we want to render the fat first. For about 10 seconds, it should be okay. Take it back out first. Now we want to saute our garlic, followed by some rosemary and thyme. When they're wilted, when they're brown, take them out. Their flavor will be infused into the oil. Now it's time to brown your steak. You want to ensure your pan is piping hot before you drop the steak back in. The idea of this step is to trigger Maillard reaction. I would say 20 to 30 seconds each side is good enough. The longer you leave it on the pan, a larger well-done perimeter will be created around the steak. By all means, the area of the medium rare will be reduced. I don't think you want it. A fan of butter? Do it. For a piece of tomahawk steak, we want to remove the bone first. The bone itself is a bugger when you carve the meat. I would say it's annoying but beautiful. Right, let's check it. Let's check the doneness. It's the medium rare that we're looking for. It's very similar to a sous vide steak, and the crust is beautifully dried. I found there's an inherited problem of sous vide. As the meat itself is too moist, it's too wet, it's really hard to have a really beautiful crust. And these vegetables are my sides, including the cherry tomatoes and the asparagus. I chucked them in a 200-degree oven straight away the steak is out. So this is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please do drop me a line, say something, like it, subscribe my channel, share it around. It's my very first English translated video. Thank you very much, and I will see you next time.